So this is one that doesn't really say. It doesn't say what type of pepper. It doesn't say hot or mild. So it's zombie apocalypse sauce. That's all we know. So
Zombie, man. That doesn't sound good, but let's give it a shot.
So next question. If you could add one impossible feature to Appsmith, what would it be?
See, I'm gonna.
Oh, we got a lot. We'll see how hot it is.
I don't know, man. We got a lot of sauce over there.
Yeah.
All right. An impossible feature. Oh my god.
Is it a hot one? It doesn't say what it is.
Oh my god. That's spice, man. Really not on our radar in the long term.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I gotta hit some water, man.
Here you go.
Jesus Christ, that's close. I will say mobile app generation.
Yeah.
That was too much sauce for me. Spicy
yeah, you
sauce.
had a lot on there.
I know that our customers are not really like on the field, to be honest.
Yeah, there would be some advantages to it. I think that's one that we might not ever have like a full true native mobile app, because the way that the Appsmith architecture is set up, you have the client side application communicating with the server, and all of the credentials are secure.
I'm gonna get some more water.
Because the next one's a Reaper.
Oh man. Welcome everyone to the Spicy Appsmith Challenge. I'm honestly scared because Joseph brought the whole thing, as you can see. I don't know if I'm honestly prepared for this thing, but Joseph, how's it going, man?
Good, man. I'm ready. I've been in training this my whole life.
I know you have, and that's why I'm scared. But we're gonna start with the mildest one, like it's gonna start easy, just having some conversations about our lives and about Appsmith, and then we're gonna level up and see until what point I'm gonna get burned and die. But let's get started. So the first thing is, it's great to be finally in person, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we met each other
We had a quick
in
New York trip.
New York trip, but that was like super fast, to be honest.
Yeah. We got a little downtime, so do some fun stuff this time around.
But now we get to know I got to know the whole team, like Appsmith, who is the CEO, Nikhil, who's the CPO, and a bunch of the other team. It's been great so far, but man, so why don't we get started with the mild list? Can you tell me a little bit about the sauces you have?
Sure.
The ones we're gonna try and see if I can start testing those out.
Yeah, so I've got 6 here from Torchbearer. Excellent sauces. I've had several of them already. And there's a good mix of heat. Some, that aren't really hot at all. There's a chipotle, so that's nice and mild. Habanero, it's about in the middle. And 2 of these are Reaper. Those are pretty hot. And then there's one I'm not really sure. It doesn't really give you a good indication, so we'll just have to see. And then I've got 12 here from the Smokehouse kit, and I found this on Amazon.
Okay.
I don't know anything about this one. I wanted more than the 6, and so this is what I found. And there are a few ghost pepper and some hotter stuff in there. It looks like it anyway, so we'll see.
All right, so let's get started. I mean, I'm eager to start testing. I have some chips here. I want to start with the mildest one. Well, why don't you tell me which one is that we're starting here?
Okay.
We
So
start
I
trying
think
it out.
one of the mildest is going to be, there's a horseradish here and chipotle.
Okay.
Let's try the horseradish first.
All right, let's try this one. So I know you're from Tallahassee. Like, do you live there forever, or you move at some point in your life?
I've been there over 10 years, so it's definitely home now. But I'm from Illinois.
Oh, okay. So why did you move to Tallahassee? Like, I've heard. I remember when I was watching The Office, one of the things they said is Tallahassee.
Yes, we still call it that.
Tallahassee, very clever.
Thank you.
Wait. You think she invented Tallahassee? No.
But what did you like about Tallahassee that you decided to move there? Like, why Tallahassee, having so much places
It was
around?
while I was getting out of the Navy. So I was a reactor operator in the Navy, and a similar job that I found there, working at a magnetic testing facility. It's not a reactor plant, but it's actually very similar. So the equipment, the gauges, the pumps, operating even some of the same brands of equipment. So very familiar, and so that's how I ended up there. Any heat on that one?
Just a basic one, but it has good flavor. But yeah, I can start feeling it
Yeah?
already.
Well, all right. I'll try one,
Yeah.
and I'll let you answer. So a little bit about Costa Rica. Tell us about
Yeah,
your home.
I mean, Costa Rica. So Costa Rica is in Central America. It's a small country. It's just like 5 million people over there.
Yeah.
And we're located like it's a very narrow country, so you can go from coast to coast in driving 4 hours maybe.
Really?
So you can be in the Caribbean, drive 6 hours, and you'll be in the Pacific. And it has a lot of micro weathers. So if you drive like 20 minutes, you can be in the rainy forest, and then drive for another hour, and you'll be like in super humid, hot place, like a very low level. And then you can drive for 30 minutes and be in a high mountain close to a volcano. So it has like a very different weathers and different type of even animalia and plants and everything. So I really like it. Costa Rica is beautiful. I live in San Jose, which is like the Central Valley. So if you see Costa Rica from the upper side, like you will see there is a strip of volcanoes that goes from north to south. And right in the center, there's like a valley surrounded by mountains and volcanoes. That's what San Jose is the capital. That's where most of the financial and companies are. And then on the outside of the valley, that's where the beaches are, most tourism.
Okay.
And it's really sunny and hot. I don't enjoy like sunny and hot, so that's why I'm in San Jose, Costa Rica. And yeah, I mean, I really like it. The only thing I will say I don't like about Costa Rica is, which a lot of countries has, but I don't know why in Costa Rica is like extremely visual, is that we have all of the electrical cables on the outside. They're not subterranean. So you have like these beautiful views of the mountains and the volcanoes from San Jose, but it's just overcrowded with so many electric cables and poles, and that I wish they could put it like underneath, like underground. That's one thing I hate. But it's weird because when I was in Japan, like Tokyo is the same thing, but you don't get to have like that distraction. I don't know if it's because there's so many buildings. And in Costa Rica, we don't have like tall and high buildings. It's just like narrow houses and then like the whole view. Yeah. But so you get to see, like, for example, right now we're here, and if we put a bunch of electric cables, like you will definitely notice it.
Right.
I would say that's the only thing I don't like it. But so what about you? Like, what do you don't like about Tallahassee?
The humidity.
Apart from the humidity.
Yeah. The other thing I'd say is we don't have a really good music venue to bring really anything besides country, and there's like some symphony stuff like that. We do have that, right? So some bigger acts there, but we don't get any good like rock or metal that come to Tallahassee. It's just not a big enough area, and I love going to concerts, and there's not really one close enough that I can do as a day trip, so I'm staying the night. Yeah. But I love the parks. There's tons of trails. I run and mountain bike a lot, and I've actually the place that we live now we picked because of the location, because our back gate opens up to a massive park and a whole trail system. So I can go about 25 miles from my back gate on all trail without hardly touching a road. There's a couple crossings, like there's a break in the trail and you cross the street, but you're right back on the trail again. And I can just go for like 25 miles on single track mountain bike trail. So I love that.
Nice.
But the humidity, kind of sucks. All right, let's try the next sauce here.
Let's try the nice one. I honestly just bypassed this one, so let's do it.
Okay, so this one's Chipotle, another mild one. What is our next question here?
So we got like the most embarrassing coding mistake you have ever made.
That one's easy. All right, let me try a little sauce here first.
All right.
Go.
Let's do this. So this one is Chipotle barbecue. This one should have a nice flavor. Let's see.
Good flavor. It's not hot, but really good flavor.
I don't know if I'm putting too much or not, but
okay. Most
really good,
embarrassing
man.
coding mistake. Easily, that was my first solo live stream. I had done several with you and with Confidence before, and basically with somebody else running the show, and I just had to show up and talk, right? That's easy. The first one that I did, trying to basically DJ it and screen share and talk to the people in the chat and whatever, complete mess. Was not ready for it. You really need 2 monitors so that you can like easily share one screen and then be able to see the cameras and keep an eye on the chat without having like 3 or 4 windows on the screen you're trying to share. Just one dedicated to that. And so yeah, I was fumbling bad. It took a minute to kind of get into the flow and then to really even focus on the topic I was there for. I was more so just like, hang on, I'm trying to get things set up, So once I got going, it was great. I think it was on eCharts, showing a bunch of different examples of how to use eCharts. And so once I'm talking about a subject that I'm familiar with, I can just go all day. But it's just that getting started and how to intro it, how to set things up. That's where I'm fumbling, man.
Yeah, I feel you. Like, yeah, streaming is hard. Like when you're doing the whole thing, like controlling the stream, making sure that you're on camera, the sound is good, that the restream is not like frozen, because it happened to me one day.
Yep.
Thankfully, like you can refresh, and if there's somebody else in the stream, it will continue to record the other person. But once we were live and it froze the browser window, so I refreshed, but it continued recording everyone else except for me. So I think that's good. But yeah, like at the beginning, it can be really like overwhelming.
Yeah.
So mine was, I will say, a little bit more embarrassing, because when I first joined a digital agency that I used to work for, like in the first days, it was my first week. It was a WordPress project they assigned to me. All right, just give me access to the project so I can pull the code and the database back up, so I can run it locally and start working on it. And so they said, just grab a snap from production and put it on your local. All right, they give me production access. That's their mistake.
Right off the
I have to admit it, right? They shouldn't give me production access to snap a copy of the database. So I used to use something called SQL Pro, which is like a Mac client for SQL. So I connect to the database on that instance, and then I connect to my local instance on another tab. So I have 2 tabs. So my intention was to export and then import my local. So there's this thing where in WordPress, I don't want to have like the entire metadata and the entire articles, because there's so much content in production. So I did is I imported in my local, and then I wanted to run a SQL query that will pretty much wipe all the content, keeping the structure, but just wipe all the content that is apart from 2 days ago. So I would just have like the latest articles, so I can start like doing front-end development. But I didn't realize that I was running that query in the directly production database.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any lock-in or anything. Like, that's their mistake.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, it was my mistake not to check that I was in the production tab when I run the query.
Yeah.
And so I run it, and I refresh my local instance, and dude, I'm still seeing all of this bunch of articles. That's weird. Refresh again, and it was like 5 minutes. Then I got a Slack message from the technical director of the company, like, dude, what the did you just do? I was like, what happened? The client is saying that there's no content in the production database. So that was like very scary. Thankfully, obviously, they have backups. So
How long had you been there?
It was my first week.
Yeah.
They didn't fire me, thankfully, because it was their fault. Like the technical director acknowledged that, I mean, it was your fault, but it's our fault for giving you production instance access.
That new,
I mean, I'm new, obviously my fault, but I was pretty scary. Like, thankfully they had backup, so we just restored the backup from like the morning, and they didn't lose anything, honestly. But it was pretty scary at that moment when I realized, like, oh man, you feel like all the entire body just freezing, and I was like, oh yeah, they're firing me.
Yeah.
It was nice first week.
All right, what is next here? I think we're getting into
That was really good one.
now.
I like the flavor of it. Like,
Yeah.
living outside the spiciness, the flavor is really good.
So this is one that doesn't really say. It doesn't say what type of pepper. It doesn't say hot or mild. So it's zombie apocalypse sauce. That's all we know. So
Zombie, man. That doesn't sound good, but let's give it a shot.
So next question. If you could add one impossible feature to Appsmith, what would it be?
That's a good question, man. Hopefully Abhishek won't hear us. Or Nikhil.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, I understand that our focus is primarily on...
Thick.
Shh, dude, man. I think I'm gonna...
Oh, we got a lot. We'll see how hot it is.
I don't know, man. We got a lot of
man.
sauce over there.
Yeah.
All right, an impossible feature. Oh my god.
Is it a hot one? It doesn't say what it is.
Oh my god. That's spice, man. I would say, I would say not impossible, but probably not on our radar in the long term.
Yeah.
I gotta hit some water, man.
Here you go.
Jesus Christ, that's cool. I will say mobile app generation.
Yeah.
That was too much sauce for me.
Yeah,
Spicy
you
sauce.
had a lot on there. But yeah, mobile app.
Mobile app, yeah, like generate a mobile app out of in your application.
Right.
I know that our customers are not really like on the field, to be honest.
Yeah, there would be some advantages to it. I think that's one that we might not ever have like a full true native mobile app, because the way that the Appsmith architecture is set up, you have the client-side application communicating with the server, and all of the credentials are securely stored on the Appsmith server. And you don't want a standalone app that's sending all of those API keys to everybody's phone, right?
Right.
Like, you want them to have access to it to be able to utilize that data source, but they shouldn't have all those credentials on their device.
Right.
So there are some workarounds though. Like, if you wanted to have a notification on your phone, you can send an email or a Slack message through Appsmith. I've also heard of people like embedding Appsmith inside of another web app, and then that web app can support notifications and different mobile features and talking to the device beyond what the browser can do. So, all right, let's see.
God.
Is it that hot?
Shit, man, yeah. That was very strong, but
All right, I'm gonna try it first, and then we'll talk about another impossible feature, I guess.
talking about workarounds, I really like the we have our community member Oscar Santana. Blessings to Oscar. And
That is hot.
dude, I'm not even capable of speaking right now. Oh my God, this is just the third one?
Yeah, well, it didn't say what that one was, so they're not really in any order.
Okay. So that's the reason why I put it too much. I thought it was gonna be like a little bit hotter than the Chipotle one.
That's up there. I don't know what it is yet.
That's
but-
probably one of the hottest, man. Oh my God.
Oh,
All right. So Oscar works for a fertility clinic. And so they use Appsmith in the actual facilities to embed the Appsmith app on a television.
yeah.
So whenever somebody goes to their clinics, they say, my name is Kevin, I'm coming here for an appointment with doctor. So that first interaction is also an Appsmith app. The receptionist will check on the Appsmith app, and then they will say, oh, take a seat. And you will see on the television what room you're going to be assigned to which doctor. That thing in the television is also an Appsmith app. And it's embedded in the television. So I think that's pretty cool. Like, you see all of those use cases where, we don't support like a mobile app for Appsmith or an embedded app for Fire TV or something like that. But you can embed it in a way. Like at the end, you can embed an Appsmith app and it's just an iframe. So I think that was a pretty cool use case when Oscar told us about that.
Yeah. Okay, I have one, but I want to grab another sauce here.
Okay.
Okay, so next up we've got this Reaper Evil hot sauce from Torchbearer. And I know this one's hot. There's 2 Reapers in here, and they're both maybe hotter than that last one, although I've been more careful with these because I know they're hot, and like you just dumped a ton of that last
I just learned the lesson in a very strong way,
Yeah,
honestly.
I think if we shake them up. So
Yeah.
they're not stuck in the bottom, and
That's
then they
the
all
thing.
come
It was
flying
like
out. Yeah.
stuck in the bottle, so I needed to put a lot of them.
So my impossible feature, if I could add anything, we integrate with all kinds of AI LLMs, right? It would be awesome if that could be native to the platform, like on your Appsmith server. But I have deployed my own local LLM and connected to it. And suddenly your hardware requirements, especially for RAM, go up from that minimum 4 gigs for just Appsmith to at least 16 if you're talking about like those mobile, like the Owen Mini and those like smaller models that are made to run on device. So it would be an awesome feature, but it would also like quadruple the hardware requirements. And so I think it's better to just keep those separate, but they could still be within the same VPC, right? Like you can host Appsmith right alongside using Olama and any open source model, or you can use like OpenAI through Azure, or however you want to get it into your own network. So you're not necessarily sending traffic completely out of your control to some third party. It might still be a third party model, but if you're hosting that model yourself, right? So it's a good balance, but if you could really have it baked into the platform without the 4xing the amount of RAM needed, that would be really cool. And maybe we'll get there with like, as models get more, more effective, more distilled, maybe they'll have one that can run on a couple gigs. So
Yeah.
I forgot to try it though.
Yeah. I was like, dude, you're not even feeling it, and now you haven't tried it yet. So
Yeah.
how is it? I mean, you eat this stuff all day, or most of the time. So compared to the previous one, would you say it's worse?
It's about the same, but
About the same.
we just had way too much on the last one, not knowing what it was.
All right, let me just put a little bit. I don't want to do the same stuff I did. I think that's good enough. So everybody can see how much I got. It's a little bit.
And there's a couple left, but one's another Reaper.
Okay.
That's a Reaper garlic. Habanero. This is a good one.
No, this one's not so spicy as the previous one. I mean, so far.
We'll dump a bunch on there like you did.
That was my mistake, man. No, it's kicking in. It's kicking in. Yeah. Dude, and what's I know you're kind of geek on the spicy stuff. So why don't you tell me about the Reaper? Why is the Reaper so famous?
It's one of the hottest peppers, just without like concentrating it. Some hot sauces, I don't know if they like distill it or they do something to concentrate it, and then it could be any type of pepper because you're just extracting like the Scoville, the capsaicin, I think is what it's called. So whatever, you could extract that from any pepper and make it as concentrated as you want, right?
Right.
But for just naturally occurring heat, like Reaper, ghost pepper, Scotch bonnet, I think there's one other that are kind of in that top tier, but
It's kicking in, man.
yeah.
Hey, it takes time. Like
It
I don't know
does.
if it's because I put so much on the previous one, but that one kicked right away. But this one is like, oh no, it's super mild,
hit
and
your toe.
now it's like it's kicking in.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Okay, so the habanero one has it's a lot of good flavor and not nearly the heat of the Reaper. So, what is next here?
So we can talk about the underrated widget. I will say, like you use a lot of widgets, obviously on your Appsmith apps, and you have seen also like a lot of different conversations with customers. Obviously, the table, the buttons, like all of those controls, widgets
Yeah.
are extremely used. But which one would you say is like a underrated widget that not a lot of people use and you kind of like it?
Underrated. So, like, I mean, most powerful or favorite, would be like custom widget, table widget. But for underrated, maybe the document viewer, because it supports multiple data types of documents that it can display. But like the real power is the way that you can feed it that document, right? It can be a URL, so like something externally hosted. It can be a data URL where you take like the binary or convert that to base 64, or maybe you already have the base 64 stored in a database or wherever you get it. You can take that base 64 string and turn it into a data URL and then be able to display it right there in the document viewer.
Yeah.
And where that comes in really powerful is like programmatically generating that document. You know, it's not an existing PDF that you're displaying in it. It's one you just generated on the fly, and then you might modify it on the fly and add some more text or select the next row, and then it generates that PDF, right? And so it doesn't just display existing documents that have been saved that are a file. It can display the raw data of something that you're in the process of creating before it's been saved out to a file.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I think that's one of the most flexible ones, and the fact that you can then download the just generated file, I think is cool. And obviously, like, we have connectors to S3 or Google Cloud Storage, so you can save that just generated base64 file to any cloud storage. So I'm gonna try it out. Didn't put too much, but it's good enough.
it's got some nice heat. Nothing like that last one though.
That's a good flavor, man. I can use that for the breakfast. For me, the most underrated one might be kind of similar to the document viewer. I will say the camera, like the photo widget. I know not a lot of people use it, but although we don't have like mobile app support in a way that you have like an installed app,
Yeah.
like if you have an Appsmith app that you can access on the browser, like in an iPad, and use like the image widget, like the camera widget, to kind of take a photo of something, I will see somebody in the field, maybe just grabbing photos of stuff they're looking at, maybe on a warehouse or something like that, and then you can use that photo you just took with the camera, the camera widget, to pass it through maybe the Appsmith AI image, smart image generate. I mean the image tagger. So you will get everything that's on that image. Like if you have like a warehouse and you have tons of equipment or something, you need to have control. You can grab all the information out of that picture, and you can grab that base64 as well and put it on an image widget and preview it, or store it on the cloud or whatever. I think that long story short, the camera widget, I think it's cool that you can access the camera device also in a computer. I haven't seen people using it, but I think if you kind of think of a use case, there might be several use cases where maybe the camera widget can be used.
Yeah, I've seen a few use cases where you're taking a photo as part of an inspection or a report.
Exactly.
You know, so like it's mainly text data for the report, but then there's like a supporting photo of equipment that needs a repair or a job site inspection, things like that. So it's just one data point within a bigger form.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm feeling way better now. I'm recovering from that mistake that I just did. I'm ready for the next one. What else do we have in the lineup?
Let's move on to the next set here. So the only thing we didn't try is another Reaper.
Okay.
This set I know nothing about. I found it on Amazon, and it does have like extreme habanero, pineapple, mango, ghost pepper. That sounds good. Fire jalapeno. Couple more jalapeno and habanero, a regular buffalo, so a good mix. Let's start with just like the plain buffalo, just to get a baseline of what we're getting into with this brand here, since we haven't tried it.
Yeah, it's just the baseline to see what we're talking about. We've seen the worst has passed or the worst is coming up.
Yeah. So regular buffalo, and I'm gonna grab this lime.
So you travel
jalapeno lime for next too. Oh, here, you want to peel that off? We got to do the
all right
seals.
Yeah. So while we do that, if in case you wouldn't be working in tech, I know that previously you worked on a nuclear factory, right?
Yeah.
But if you wouldn't be in tech, what other career would you say you could be doing, or you feel like interest about?
So I was a freelancer after the Navy and before Appsmith. Freelance full time and was building apps for different customers, and it was almost all remote. But I have a background in manufacturing and engineering, and I had thought about going into that and doing more on-site, hands-on building and consulting, to where I'd go like learn a manufacturing process and the equipment and the engineering specs involved, and then build apps to automate that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so I'd looked into that. I was kind of thinking of going that direction, but then I had a client that needed something that the last platform I was using just wasn't quite powerful enough. I needed something better. I kept bouncing around, trying different things, and found Appsmith, fell in love with it, and here I am. So
That's the way life goes, right?
Yep.
To be honest, there is this song from Talking Heads. I think that's the name of the band. And there's this piece of the song that says like, "How did I end here?" Honestly, I don't know how did I end here. And it's amazing because like everything just lined up. Like I'm doing video production, doing developer relations. But if I wouldn't be in this particular field right now, I think I would be a chef. 'Cause I really like cooking.
Cool.
Like I cook every meal in my house. I cook breakfast.
I had you cooking in New York. That
Remember?
was good. And you had some of my hot sauce.
Yeah. So this one is buffalo.
Yeah, it's good. It's kind of vinegary.
Okay, let's try it out. No, it's vinegar. That's not so strong.
No.
I think it's a good way to get started with that kit. But yeah, no, not even close.
Where'd that lime one go? Jalapeno lime.
Let's try it out as well. It smells very acid. Normally, like jalapeno can be kind of acid.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Okay, next question. What popular tech trend do you think is overrated?
That's a good question, man. To be respectful to everyone, I will say, that's really favorable for me.
Yeah.
I like it. I understand that everybody likes microservices, but the microservices architecture is not meant to be used for every implementation. And I just feel that every DevOps or every architecture guy just want to sneak microservices to every architecture they have to plan.
Yeah.
And I've seen that from time to time. Previously, before working at Appsmith, I used to work for a digital agency as a technical director. And I worked with these architects like there was, we went to the customer, understand their problem, create a scope of work, and they were like just microservice architecture. And I'm like, why? Because it's great, and then you start to see the whole complexity around a microservice architecture. And I remember one of the customers that we had, I ended up saying, let's just do a plain static website. And the architecture guy was like, dude, why? Like, and I said, like, the customer is not going to be changing too much the content. It's going to be having changes every week.
Yeah.
So whenever there's content updates in the CMS, we can trigger a cloud pipeline that's going to regenerate the static side, deploy that to Vercel, and that's it. You just clear the cache. You don't need to have like an actual connection to the CMS because the content is not updating so much. So long story short, what I have seen in the architecture, DevOps, like being respectful to everyone, obviously, I think that everyone's just use microservices for everything that shouldn't be microservices.
Yeah.
Like I understand the use case for microservices when it makes sense, but controlling an API gateway, microservices like a huge Kubernetes cluster, it's a pain. And if you don't really needed it, then you can overcome that pain by not using it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like at the end,
Agreed.
Appsmith is just a Docker image and it's a monolithic architecture.
Right.
And it works.
And originally, there were multiple images within a Docker container, and it led to a lot of problems with install and version mismatch between one part of it, of the component, and everything else it's talking to. And when it was consolidated all to a single Docker image, our customer success for install deployments and being able to manage that stuff on their own, it went way up. And it helps with our automated testing, knowing that everything is upgraded together all at the same time with the same version set. So yeah, I agree that it's not something that should just be blindly applied to every use case. It has its places, but which kind of gets to mine. I think for me, the most overrated. It's also one of the most misunderstood. It can be the most valuable depending on how it's deployed. It's AI, man. Like it is simultaneously overhyped and underutilized in other places, and some places are just trying to wedge it into their product just because they feel that they have to keep up with everybody else. But then the way that it gets implemented can just honestly take away from the experience. It's not really helping at all. And then there's other places where it's been implemented and been like a huge help. One of the best ones I've seen is Supabase in their SQL, query. It can it writes it for you, but then it doesn't apply it. You get a chance to see it, and then you can accept that or ask it to make an adjustment to that. And we just released something similar with custom widgets, and now you can just
Copilot.
talk to it and have it build something. So
Yeah, I agree. Like there's
it's not always overhyped, but
so much hype.
it's there's definitely a lot of people using it just because they feel like they have to wedge it into their platform, and then at the same time there's the great uses of it. So
That's true, man. AI is just like everyone's just talking about it, and I think that's the reason why we started doing the AI 101 LLM type of content, because I've seen this on LinkedIn all the time, like people expressing or talking about vector search or fine tuning or RAG, and they're using it in the wrong context. They don't even understand what it is. It's just heard it someplace, fine tuning, and now they're using it everywhere, and they don't even know what it is. Like myself, I started to create some content around AI, and I have to like take a step back and say like, I'm not even sure what I'm talking about, so I'm just gonna take a step back and actually understand what fine tuning is, and even coming from your feedback, like let's understand the differentiation between fine tuning versus RAG and when it makes sense and when it doesn't. But not everyone is like, if you see articles out there, and again, it's just AI generated content talking about AI stuff. It's just a bummer. Like, it's just a mess. I don't know. So what is this one? Is apple, whiskey, habanero. That sounds good.
yeah.
Apple and whiskey.
How about favorite coding song?
Favorite coding song? That's... Dude, I hear... So I have a very wide range of music in my Spotify. That's good.
Yeah.
No, it's not super spicy. Not at
A
all.
little bit of heat, but the apple whiskey.
It's
mixed
really
with
good.
it, that's good.
I mean, that could be for chicken wings. That would be great. So I have a variety of music in my Spotify. That can go from really hard rock, metal to Japanese anime songs. So I will say that the one that really gets me on is, again, it's a weird song from a Japanese band. The song is called Otonaru Blue. It's from a Japanese girl band. I don't know, it has this good movement. I just like it. But but also depends on the mood. If I have to get stuff done, I would rather have like Pantera on it, because like I really need the kick of music. So I'm gonna put like Cowboys from Hell or Heresy or something like that, which are extremely fast songs with a great riff. But if I'm just trying to understand like in a script that I want to do for a video, like Japanese music just takes me on a much calmer, nice path.
Cool.
So it depends on what I want to do. But if I really need to finish a video and I'm editing and I don't have to do any audio, just Pantera all the way, like extremely fast and kicking in. But if not, I will say, I'm one of those guys who hear anime openings as standard music. And I know that's weird. Some people say like, dude, that's weird, but I really like it. I really like it. So I don't know, what about you? What?
Definitely some old school metal, Pantera. I like to listen to things that I've been listening to forever so that I'm not distracted by new music, right?
Exactly.
Like, I love finding new bands too, but if I'm trying to work and I put Spotify on and it's actually playing something I haven't heard, I'm like every 5 minutes, I'm like, oh wait, who's this? And then like I'm going down the rabbit hole and finding their other stuff, and I don't get any work done.
Exactly. I'm just gonna
So
spend a little after
probably put on some Pantera, Megadeth, something that I've heard 100 times that I can enjoy it in the background, but I'm not distracted by it.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I also, when I'm editing, but I need to hear the video I'm editing.
Yeah.
I put just in a very low volume The Office. I've seen The Office, rewatched The Office 27 times so far.
The whole series?
The whole series.
Wow.
And it's because, like you said, like I already know what they're saying. I don't even have to like understand what's going on. I mean, if somebody wants to say, let's invite Kevin to do like I don't know, let's take whatever episode in whatever season, and I know what they're talking. Like I could even do like the role play or whatever, because I've heard so many times that I already know it, but it's because, like you said, I need something repetitive that I don't have to put attention, but just be there in the background, because if not, I'm just going to lose my mind. So this is jalapeno whiskey.
Jalapeno whiskey.
So in terms of community, I know you've been with the community for a long time, like you've been on Discord for a long time. Which one would you say it's the most memorable community interaction you've had?
So this, I'm gonna kind of cheat and flip it, because I came from the community, and my best memory was before I joined the Appsmith team, when Confidence had me on. I did an interview, like a community spotlight, and it was just the interaction of getting to talk with somebody from the Appsmith team, being a community member that loved the product and loved the community, and then like just that the team is listening to the community, that they wanted to get on a call with me and hear my feedback about the product, So that's one of the things I really loved about Appsmith. I love the product too, but the community and just the interactions, and that it wasn't just support either. In Discord, you could be chatting with Nikal and Abhishek, the founders, So yeah, mine was before I was actually on the team. It was from the other side.
That's good. That's good to know, like that you come from a good experience on the other side as a community member. I would say mine is. I don't want to mention again Oscar, so I'll step away from Oscar.
Okay.
People will say like, "Oh, it's just Oscar in the community," but no, we have a huge community. But I will say Sanjita. The fact that she did 100 days in a row, non-stopping, it's just incredible. I wouldn't even do it myself. I don't know if I have the guts to spend 100 days non-stopping.
It's a commitment.
It's a huge commitment. Like 30 days, the one that we launch, and if everyone wants to do it, like to have the 30-day challenge, we have a couple of members who are doing it. But 30 days is an amount of time that I would say is sane. But 100 days, like kudos to Sanjita, that was amazing. Just having somebody learn Appsmith from zero to understanding every single feature in 100 days is just amazing. And yeah, I will say that's the most memorable. I don't know if I've seen that type of community commitment on another company or another product.
Yeah, 100 days, like,
No.
that is massive
Insane.
for somebody to just, and on her own, her own initiative. Like, now we have an official 30-day challenge, right?
Yeah.
Like, we are encouraging the community to do that, but this was totally on her own, and I think she was over 20 or 30 when I first saw it, but then we were following every day.
Yeah. Dude, Sanjita, you're amazing. So, do we have anything that is like more spicy? Because we want to do like the fire rapid round.
I was about to say, this one is ghost pepper.
Okay.
My guess is it's going to be the hottest one out of this set.
Yep.
There might be one in the last set that we had that was up there, but this could be the time for that lightning round.
Yeah, let's use that.
All right.
Also, we could combine and get really crazy.
Okay, man. So it is pineapple mango ghost pepper.
Pineapple.
Yeah, we're running out of chips, but I got some breakfast stuff
Yeah.
here.
The breakfast chips.
Whoa. Might have got too much there.
Just combine with other one. Like, you don't get spiced. You should put another sauce in that
let's
same
mix 'em
tortilla,
up.
man.
There's habanero. That's another hot one.
Yeah. Mix and match.
Oh wait, extreme habanero.
Extreme habanero. That sounds good. I want to spice Joseph and feel what I just felt a few moments ago, because I was.
So I'm gonna put a lot on here, and I got two different ones, and then you just start hitting me with the lightning round. All right, it's gonna be all soaked and soggy.
It's not tortilla with a sauce. It's sauce with a tortilla.
All right,
Let's try that out. How's it feeling? It's kicking in, or it's not that?
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So
That's
tabs or spaces?
Tabs.
Tabs. Yeah. Dark or light theme.
Dark theme.
Yeah. Favorite food?
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings. All right. The next question was wings or burgers. So wings or
Oh,
burgers?
there you go.
Wings.
Yeah.
Mac or Windows?
Mac.
Yeah. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Front
hot?
end or back end?
Full stack.
Full stack. That's good.
Oh man.
REST or GraphQL?
Rest.
Most overused tech buzzword?
AI's up there. Yeah. There's so many different variations, but yes, something along AI.
Yeah. And your favorite keyboard shortcut that you use every day?
Creating a new API. So there's several in Appsmith, but you can pulling up the navigation menu and then that drop down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, that's a little hot. And I mixed them, so I'm not sure. I'm guessing the ghost pepper is what I'm feeling more.
The one that you mixed up.
Yeah.
So this is the one that you put at the extreme habanero.
Yep. Extreme habanero, and I think there was the ghost pepper, pineapple ghost pepper. That was the other
Pineapple
one.
ghost pepper. I'll try both too as well. Not too much as you did, hopefully, because you soak it, man.
Okay.
And the ship is very small, so I'm gonna. There you go. There you go.
All right. Tabs or spaces?
Tabs.
Dark theme or light?
Dark.
Mac or Windows?
Mac for life.
Yeah. Wings or burgers?
Burgers.
Coffee or tea?
Tea in the morning, coffee in the afternoon.
Okay. Front end or back end?
Ah. Oh man. Jesus. I will say front end.
REST or GraphQL?
Dude, REST. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry about GraphQL.
Most overused tech buzzword?
Oh Jesus. I would say. Oh man, tech words were. You already said AI, but I think AI
it is.
microservices again.
Okay. And favorite keyboard shortcut?
So when I'm doing video editing, I use a lot of Control B or Command B to cut pieces of the video. So I'm between. Oh man. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! I'm between Command A and Command B just for cut and selection, cut selection. So I'm normally just cutting some pieces of the video and put it in the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, man. Oh. Well, all right. I think we covered all the major sauces here. We skipped a couple of kind of duplicates. Another jalapeno. Another. We got another habanero. So.
Dude,
This was fun.
that was fun. Yeah, nothing like the one that I tried, like the third one. Like I know it was too much.
That should have been way towards the end.
Yeah, that will choose you.
We didn't know what we were
I mean-
getting into there.
The combination of these two is extreme, but not as close as that one. Like I honestly almost drop on that particular one, man. Good. Thank you so much for bringing all of this stuff from Tallahassee here to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Well, we're in Santa Cruz right now, but to the Bay Area. Did TSA or migration didn't say anything about it?
No, I was actually worried going through with all this stuff because it's a lot of small bottles. It looks like maybe how you would smuggle something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm just sitting there watching the scanner, watching the guy that's watching the screen, waiting to see. But no question at all. I got through, no problem. So
That's good. Well, kudos to the migration guys who didn't allow it to make this happen. Well, thank you so much for everyone who watched it. Let us know in the comments what do you think. If you would like us to do it again, maybe in the future with other topics, let us know in the comments what topics would you like us to cover. But Joseph, we have a lot of things lining up. We have the webinar with Pinecone.
yes,
We have light coding happening every month. And we're going to be in some physical events. Like we have people from North Carolina who want to go to the All Things Open and going to be there speaking about AI and rack. We're going to be in Cloud Next in April in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be there physically. And I know you're going to be in an Educate event, right? Is that the name?
EduComp. I think
EduComp,
there's
right.
it's in Providence, Rhode Island. Then we're also looking at the Chef Miami conference and DevRelCon and Second half of the year, it's kind of up in the air, but we're probably going to be hitting several, basically a U.S. tour here. So
we can bring the spicy challenge to maybe one of your cities if you want to. So let us know in the comments if that's something you want. Joseph, thank you so much, man.
this was awesome.
It was awesome
Thanks,
to
man.
be here in person, and I survived. Thank you, everyone who watched, and we'll see you next one.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Take care.